Continuing now with Governor Sarah Palin, her new book, Good Tidings and Great Joy, pretty much takes up my theme that Christmas has to be defended these days in America. So when did you first notice a change?
Oh, well, I noticed a change back when I was the mayor of our city, and I sanctioned and promoted and participated in our nativity scene that I would allow.
That was Wasilla, Alaska. What year was that?
Yeah. That was in the early 2000s was when I first started hearing from people saying, you're not going to be able to keep this up, Madam Mayor. Somebody's going to sue you for allowing God to be recognized in the public square.
So early 2000s,
yeah,
it started to come in.
In my life, yes.
Right. And no, that's me too.
Okay,
me too. Pretty much 10 years ago. And then it reached its apex when some major corporations ordered their employees not to say Merry Christmas. Do you remember that? And I think you have some examples in your book about that.
I do, yeah.
And then we said to people, hey, maybe you don't want to shop at these places. And then all of a sudden, magically, like Santa, they changed.
Well, what I recognize in the book, too, though, are those businesses that are bold enough to not allow that double standard to be applied, and their employees can say what they want to say, and they can freely express their acknowledgement of Jesus being the reason for the season at Christmas time. And I give shout-outs and kudos to those businesses because customers will stick with them then.
And most of them are doing that now. You don't have any beef about Happy Holidays, do you?
Absolutely not. Nor Santa Claus.
I don't have
and anything else. No, it's all wonderful.
This woman in the New York Times today, I forget her name, but she writes a column there. She's mocking you and mocking me, saying, "Oh, they don't like Happy Holidays." I don't care about Happy Holidays. Somebody says Happy Holidays to me, I said, "Okay, give me a present." That's mine. I don't care if they're holidays. Where's my present? But when you start to say you can't say Merry Christmas, and you can't have the creche, and you can't have Christmas carols by choirs, school choirs. It's part of our culture.
Well, and that's the double standard that's applied, and that's what I'm not going to sit down and accept, and I don't think the majority of Americans will, because that war on Christmas is the tip of the spear that it really translates into a war on religious freedom, and that's a much bigger problem that we will be facing if we just were to sit back and allow the angry atheists who are armed with an attorney to tell us that we cannot say things like Merry Christmas.
After you get off the air here, you might go over to Times Square. There's a big atheist sign now, and it's very offensive. It says, "You don't need God in Christmas." Okay, and it's huge. It's huge. I mean, there's money behind these people. Now, do I object to that sign? Not really. I don't object to it, but it's mean-spirited. It goes back to MSNBC. It goes back. It's just mean-spirited.
And yet you are going to be called thin-skinned and intolerant if you claim taking offense at seeing somebody like that, and yet they can sue for claiming an offense taken because we do recognize Jesus being the reason.
Now let me stop you now, because I spray painted over that sign. I'm going to be called intolerant? No, I isn't like that. Now, in your book, you have recipes.
Yes.
Recipes.
Yes. Yes. Well, we have traditional Alaskan meals that are organic, and our meals happen to be wrapped in fur, not cellophane. Yeah. And I explain how it is that we prepare our moose chili and our halibut dip and all that.
I got to get some of that. I was in Alaska this summer. I don't know whether you know that or not. I was at Glacier Bay.
Yes.
Unbelievably beautiful. And we ran around and we caused trouble and everything. And it was my reception was mixed. I mean, some of the people really liked me, but some of the people, they're kind of like, what are you doing here? Don't ever come again. But I should have stocked up on moose chili, and nobody guided me into that.
I'll bring you some next time.
You have to, because there's not a lot of moose on Long Island where I live. So we can't really slay them and chop them up into chili.
Yeah, I don't think you can shoot anything. I mean, isn't the mayor around here trying to ban everything?
Well, the bad guys can shoot people.
Yeah, the bad guys.
The good people can't.
The good guys,
see, that's the law in New York. If you're bad, you can shoot. But if you're good, you can't. But in Alaska, everybody is armed and ready.
Well, we're independent, and we want to protect ourselves, and we do want to fill our freezer with organic meat.
Now, I'm holding you to the moose chili business. All right, so next time in.
Absolutely.
I'm going to show everybody that can. All right, Sarah Palin, everybody, thanks for coming in. Directly ahead as The Factor continues, Miss Megyn Kelly on why she's so passionate about Obamacare. Later, Laura Hager on MSNBC firing Martin Bashir. Those reports upcoming.